Hey guys, how's it going? This is Autobot JCB here again for another How to Transform video. In today's video, we're going to be continuing on with Transformers Revenge of the Fallen because today I'm going to be showing you how to transform the 2009 Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Skids and Mudflap. For those of you who are familiar with these characters, you guys will know that these are known as the Autobot twins, and they're basically children. I have to admit, I forget who did the voice of Mudflap, but I love that they got Tom Kenny to be the voice of Skids. Tom Kenny, as you would know, is the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants. So the fact that we basically have SpongeBob in a Transformers movie is awesome. I have to admit that Tom Kenny did an amazing job. I love that these two, just even though they are twins, they don't always get along. But when they need to get a job done, they try their hardest. One of my favorite scenes in Revenge of the Fallen was when they looked Devastator right in the face and were just like, "Let's go." And I thought the way they kind of started that fight was funny. I especially loved when Mudflap actually broke his way out of Devastator's face, and he's hanging halfway out of his head and just beating on the other side of his head. And then, unfortunately, Mudflap ended up shooting his brother in the face, which caused them to fall off of Devastator. I have to admit that these guys are, like, I'm having a hard time keeping it together because I think about this stuff, and I just want to laugh because of how stupidly funny these guys actually are. So anyway, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over a couple of details these guys have while they're in their vehicle mode. But before I do that, what I want to actually do is I want to show you the form that they had when the movie first started, and that is the ice cream truck mode. I am not going to be doing this one in this video, but I will have a video specifically dedicated to this since it does split apart into Skids and Mudflap. But I love that even though when this comes apart, it's significantly smaller than these two. I like that they kept all three of the vehicle modes roughly the same size. So there's Ice Cream Truck, Skids, and Mudflap. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in Skids, and we're going to go over a couple details that he has. Now, Skids' vehicle mode, I forget exactly what kind of car it is. I know it's a Chevy. Both of these are Chevys. If you turn him around, you'll see he's got this a custom license plate that says Skids. Mudflap has the same thing. I love that they have the green and the kind of scratched green decal on the side of the car. They've got some tread on the tires, stuff like that. They even added some transparent plastic for the windows and even the headlights. Overall, I think that these vehicle modes are very well done. And I especially love that despite the difference in their vehicle modes, their body designs when they are transformed is actually pretty similar. So we'll move Skids off to the side and we'll bring Mudflap in. Now, like I said, Mudflap obviously is supposed to be Skids' twin brother. I don't know what kind of car this is either. Unfortunately, you can see that they're kind of showing their age. I actually got these in 2009 when the movie first came out. Despite having moved a couple of times and having cats in my home, I'm amazed that these guys haven't bitten the dust yet. But hey, they survived a fight with Devastator, so I think they're pretty much tough. I think they're tough as nails. So anyway, one thing I like is that if you look right here, Mudflap, it does actually come with a projectile, and we'll be showing you his arm cannon as we go. But overall, Mudflap, I think, is a really good design. You'll notice that he also has the tread tires. He doesn't really have the transparent headlights that Skids does, but he does have the transparent windows. His are just heavily tinted. And then he's got kind of silver paint for his headlights, stuff like that. He's got the Chevy decal right there. And then, like I said earlier, he's also got the custom license plate that says Mudflap. So anyway, there's him. So for right now, we're gonna go ahead and transform. We're gonna go ahead and do the transformation. We'll set Mudflap off to the side, and we'll get to him in just a little bit. So bring him back in, Skids. And to be perfectly honest, if you guys know what kind of cars these are, let me know down in the comments, because honestly, that would help me, because I like to keep detailed lists of my figures, and knowing specifically what kind of cars these are would really help out. To be perfectly honest, you could do that on any one of my videos, because it would help me out, because that's just how I stay organized with my ever-growing collection. All right, so for Skids, to get him started, what we're going to do first is we're going to come right down here, and we're going to take this whole quarter panel with the with his leg right here and here, and we're going to go ahead and pull. Oh, actually, I forgot. Mudflap is the one where you pull the quarter panel down. Skids, his leg is actually connected clear back here on the door. So what we need to do first is we need to disconnect the door, swing it down, and then bring it down just like that. And then you'll see that there's kind of an L shape right here. Go ahead and pull it straight just like that, because that will form his leg. So we'll go ahead and flip out his foot. And then what we'll do is we'll fold in his window, and we'll fold this around, and then this peg will go right into this pinhole right here. And that will form one of Skids' legs. Now you can tilt the door up a little bit to give a little more character. Just be very careful, because you can damage that pinhole or the pin itself. So we'll come over here, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to bring this down, and we're going to pull it straight just like that. Flip out his foot, flip in the window, and bring this around to form his leg armor. So go ahead and do that just like that. And there we have Skids' legs ready to go. His legs are a little skinny, but hey, it works. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come right here, and we're going to pull the hood and the windshield off, because now we have, this is going to form Skids' chest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this piece up just like this. And if you want to, you can go ahead and flip his head out right there. There's his head popping out to say hi, just like that. And then what we'll do is we're going to spin this piece all the way around. I didn't quite get it all the way out, so I apologize. Give me 1 second. We're going to flip that in, and we're going to pull out his arms. And then we'll flip this back a little bit and then spin it around. Sorry about that. I haven't done this figure for a while, so I apologize. All right. So there we have his arms coming out. We're going to go ahead and flip his arms out straight. Just like that. And just like this. Now, whereas Mudflap has the arm cannon, Skids actually has a power punch. I'll show you guys that in just a little bit. Now, with his window, there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can either keep it straight just like this, or if you press very carefully, you can actually pop the window on top of the car, and then you can fold it back just like that. The instructions actually show you just keep this straight, but if you want to fold his body back a little bit or make it more compact, you can do that. It is designed to do that. So, all right. So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and there's a pin right here. We're gonna bring his chest up and lock it into that pin. And as you do, you'll see that these pins behind his head will line up with the pins that are connected to his arms. So we'll get those plugged in there, which will form Skids' body, just like that. We'll go ahead and bring these up just like this. We'll give his arm a quarter turn. All right, and like I said, old figure, he's got a loose arm joint. It happens. And then you'll notice that there is a peg hole behind his head, and there's a pin right here on the back of the car. Just go ahead and bring that up and slot that in, and then we'll get all this collapsed up behind him. And there we have Skids. Like I said, the detail they put into this guy, I think they did a really good job. He looks very accurate to how he does in the movie. And then, like I said, he does have like a power punch. He's got a trigger right here, and when you push it, he can punch. And then he's got a little itty bitty cannon that pops up out of his arm. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a projectile, and I really wish it did, to be honest with you. And then his thumb does move out, and his fingers move out a little bit. Not much, but they do move out enough where if he wanted to, he could maybe hold on to a ledge or something. And then we'll just go ahead and fold his fingers back in, put his fist back in, and he is ready to go. And I especially love that they even added the detail of his gold tooth. And in the movie, if you look carefully, his Autobot symbol is actually on his gold tooth. I believe they showed that on his packaging as well. And then, of course, he's also got the Autobot symbol right here on his waist. But anyway, so there we have Skids, transformed and ready to go. Unfortunately, standing up is not the easiest thing for him because of how much weight is on his back. I typically find that if you kind of lean his legs back and then bend his feet forward, he tends to stand up a little bit easier. But if you have him leaning against something, it works just as well. But anyway, so there's Skids. So we're gonna move him off to the side because now we're gonna move on to Mudflap. Now, I want to apologize for the little confusion I had. Their body designs are similar, but their transformations are just slightly different. So I do apologize for the confusion on the quarter panels. For Mudflap, you do just pull down on these quarter panels just like that. Because the doors, if you remember correctly, are actually sitting behind his head in the movie. So we'll go ahead and pull that down. And we'll go ahead and pull the leg straight, just like what we did with Skids. Now with this, we'll go ahead and flip it backwards so the wheel's upside down. And then we'll flip his foot down because there is one of Mudflap's feet. So we'll go ahead and come over here. Go ahead and pull this piece down. Pull the leg straight. Flip the wheel back and flip his foot out. Just like that. And there we already have Mudflap's feet ready to go. The next thing we'll do is we're going to come right here. We're going to flip this in, and then we're going to take these pieces right here and flip them out, just like that. So it kind of looks like the front of the car now has a mouth. Yeah. All right. The next thing we'll do is we're going to come right here, and we're going to pull on this door, which will dislodge it from the back door. And it actually did that with that door as well. And then we'll bring this up, and we're going to flip the doors up out of the way. Just like this. All right. Flip them up straight on their hinge. And now what we can do is we can turn this all the way around and flip it back just like that. Because now what we can do is we can flip out Mudflap's arms, which are actually on a long hinge that are connected to his wheels. So as you flip his arms out, his wheels get flipped into his body. And we'll go ahead and bring his arm out and flip out his wrist and straighten his arm. And we'll come down here, or come in here. We'll pull out his other arm, which has his blaster cannon on it. So we'll flip that out. And we'll just bring that out to the side just like that. Now, just like with Skids, the back window, if you want, you can flip it. You can push it. So that way it flips behind, or flips up over the top of the car just like this. We'll go ahead and... Uh-oh, I am hung up on something. Give me 1 second. I want to be very careful because this guy is pretty old. All right. There we go. Okay, so now we got that clicked in. Now we can bring that all in, and then of course flip the hood up underneath the windshield, just like that. All right, so there we have that, and then we'll go ahead and grab his head right here, flip that forward, and click it in. And there we have Mudflap's head. And then what we'll do is we'll bring this back just like this. And what I like is that he also has that pin that behind his head, and that will actually peg in to this port right here. So as you do that, the wheels will become his shoulders. So we'll go ahead and bring this all forward. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. Get those flipped back out of the way. Get that pegged in just like that. And, oh, what happened here? Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, sorry about that. Had a little hang up there. But anyway, so we got that pegged in. We got that all set up. And there we have Mudflap. I almost said Skids. All right, but anyway, so there we have Mudflap. And like I said, the amount of detail with these guys, they did a really good job, especially with their faces. I like that their arms are complete opposites, kind of showing how they have an opposite personality, stuff like that. And then I love that they were able to make it where Skids' doors could flip up over the top of him. I have seen pictures where people have actually gotten this to sit farther back, where his doors can actually sit above his shoulders like they do in the actual movie. I haven't been able to figure out how to do that, and really at this point, I don't want to risk breaking them. And then one thing I forgot to show you guys is that the grill of the cars will actually become buttons, and if you push them, well, Mudflaps is working. Skids really doesn't work. But they have this little head bob gimmick, which honestly I think is kind of funny. So he could be sitting there, he's jamming out, having a good time. And then, like I said, in addition to that, Mudflap has his arm cannon. So what you'll do is you'll take his fist, and he does have somewhat posable. I think it's really just his thumb that moves. His fingers do move down, but that's just to expose his cannon right there. And then you can load the rocket right there. And now he's ready for a fight with Mudflap, or with Skids. And they are ready to take on Devastator. But anyway, guys, so there we have the 2009 Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Autobot Twins, Skids and Mudflap. If you guys have any other ideas for other Transformers you'd like me to try and do, feel free to comment below, even hit the like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell, and I will do what I can to help you out in the future. And until then, bye.